Oh, this was a good one.
I thought it was
Great game.
for a minute.
That was great. Let's shift some gears, talk some basketball on a Monday morning, because the veteran Lakers is about to get even more veteran-y. Big man DeAndre Jordan intends to sign with the Lakers after being traded and then bought out by the Pistons. Jordan would be the 10th Laker, age 32 or older, and 6 of those guys 35 plus. Nick, Jordan and LeBron on the same team, never thought I'd see the day. Do you like the Lakers bringing in DeAndre Jordan?
Nice.
That was a good line, Jenna. Well, listen, we're still getting the edible arrangements and the Sherry's berries sent my way for apologies that were due from the audience last week. But you can feel free to send more to me. And by the way, if you're feeling generous, include Kenny Atkinson, who lost his job, arguably, because he saw what I saw and other people saw, which is DeAndre Jordan's not great at the old basketball anymore. And now the Nets finally admitted, as they say, hey, you can have DeAndre Jordan. And Detroit says, no, we don't want him. They're like, what if we include $6 million? They're like, still don't want him. They're like, what if we include 4 second-round picks? They're like, okay, we'll take him. And then we'll ask him to leave, and now the Lakers are going to take him. So here's the thing. I understand that folks probably expect me to say, well, with LeBron, he'll be different.
Exactly.
And while I do believe LeBron has the ability to get the most out of any and all teammates he's played with for now 18 plus years, there has to be something to be gotten. And so do I think this moves the needle for the Lakers? No. Do I think DeAndre Jordan can possibly play a similar role to the one JaVale McGee played when they won the title? Sure. But that is like your 11th man, your 2nd or 3rd center, not including Anthony Davis, who really should be your center. So, no, my feelings on DeAndre Jordan have been very consistent, and now the Nets have finally caught up over the last couple of years. He's not the guy that he once was. He is no longer, he used to, remember when Doc Rivers, Broussard, was like, he should be Defensive Player of the Year. But now he actually kind of hurts you on that end because of his inability to guard the perimeter and switches. So, no, I don't think it hurts the Lakers' chances of winning a ring. I don't think he's a net negative. He can be your 12th man. Who cares? But I certainly don't think it helps them or it's a needle mover for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Props, Nick. That was a rare case of objectivity. That was excellent. Excellent points.
Rare.
I agree with you on that.
That's all I do is give objective
I
takes.
thought you were gonna sing the praises of this move. All right. And I'm lukewarm on this. Okay? I mean, I'll feel no differently about the Lakers once they sign DeAndre Jordan than I felt a week ago. I mean, it's an inconsequential move. Okay? Here's how much DeAndre Jordan has left. The Brooklyn Nets, who could use size, who could use rim protection, and DeAndre Jordan is very tight with Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and they let him go. So to expect him to do anything for the Lakers, you know, like Nick said, he might come in here and give you a moment or two. Maybe even in a big game. It's possible. I expect those big man minutes off the bench to go to Dwight Howard. There's talk that they're going to get rid of Marc Gasol. I actually would like them to keep Marc Gasol because I think there will be times where his ability as a stretch 5 will come into play, and they could use him to open up the floor for LeBron and Westbrook. But also, Anthony Davis is going to be at the 5 a lot, especially in big moments. So DeAndre, it's fine. Doesn't really change anything. But I think overall, Wilds, it's an inconsequential move.
Yeah, I also heard the Marc Gasol for Paul Gasol. They want to get a little bit older. You got to sign older guys. Marc Gasol too young. So Broussard, my answer, a little more experience. Got a Lakers uniform. You don't have to get new jerseys. Broussard, my answer is hurt, but it's not a DeAndre Jordan, performance thing. It's the fact that the Nets let him go, and to me, that is a sign that the Nets are more focused on winning this year. The idea that it was like, hey, Kyrie, KD, DeAndre Jordan, we're going to be like the super friends. And Steve Nash and Nick Wright were like, I don't know if he should start. And there was these reports that he was kind of like the players wanted him to start. And he started. Eventually he started getting some DNP CDs. But like for a while there, that was a little bit of tension. So the idea that he went from, the Nets sort of vibe went from, hey, this guy should start, we think we'll play better with him, to like, you know what? It's okay if we let him go. Because I think KD would sort of put his foot down, and maybe DeAndre wanted to go back to LA. I think that means the Nets are more focused. And here's the other thing. We talk about like Nets big men. The other thing is LaMarcus Aldridge back on the Nets. That's the other little story. So I didn't even think this was the most interesting Nets big man story. So I think while the Lakers didn't get worse, I think the Nets got better, Broussard.
Ooh. Yeah, no, I like that. And look, they got to find a way to play Nick Claxton. I like Nick Claxton a lot. I think this move with DeAndre Jordan has something to do with that, but you're right. I mean, they now have a log jam. I mean, not only LaMarcus Aldridge, hopefully, you know, I'm glad to see him back. Obviously, he had the issue last year with his health, but hopefully there's no issues there now, and he's good.
Yep.
Blake Griffin's still there, who I thought played well in a role player's role last year. And then Paul Millsap. Again, don't expect him to be the all-star he was in Atlanta, but as a role player, as a veteran, yeah, I like that. So that's a great take, Wildes. I would agree with what Wildes said, Nick. Good take.
Yeah, no, listen, and the Nets adding Paul Millsap and LaMarcus Aldridge, two well-known, spry, young players. But, oh, wait. We only talk about age being a problem with the Lakers.
Age.
My apologies.
I know you're not talking age.
No. Of course not, because we only talk about that with the Lakers. We're only allowed to talk about age with the Lakers. And so adding Paul Millsap and LaMarcus Aldridge, you know, no. It helps the Nets add some energy and some youthful exuberance to their team, along with Blake Griffin, who you mentioned as well, another one of the key young role players on that Nets roster. But Broussard, I like Nick Claxton. I'd like Nick Claxton even more if he was backing up Jared Allen, who they never would have. Well, maybe they still have to include him in the Harden trade, but Jared Allen should have always been the starting center the way Kenny Atkinson wanted him to. But Jared Allen, doesn't vacation with Kevin Durant, so he was out of there. But before we move on and back to football, I must revisit Broussard's slander, libel, outright disinformation to start this segment. Because I did, and you might say slander and libel, yeah, he also texted it to me. It's written down, so it's both of them, America. I said, guys, let me go first on this, because I knew Broussard was going to assume that I was going to say DeAndre Jordan will be great for the Lakers, and I didn't want to do that to my new teammate. I'm like, I don't want Broussard's whole take to be based on something I'm not going to say. But then I didn't say it, and you were like, oh, golf clap, applause, final objectivity. I am dripping in objectivity. Do you know, forget basketball, forget LeBron. Do you know who, Wild, true story, my wife's all-time, her all-time favorite NBA player, DeAndre Jordan. Do you think this take helps me at home? No. Do you think this take helps me at the, bi-monthly clutch cocktail parties? Of course not. But America deserves the truth from me, and it's what they always get. So even if it causes strife in my relationship, you're always going to get the truth from me each and every time.
You know what?
And by the way, I was right about Rondo. I was right about Dwight. And I was being proven right about DeAndre Jordan. You've got nothing, Wildes, but truth and objectivity from me. And Broussard implying otherwise hurts my feelings a bit, to be honest.
Broussard, I agree. The guy is objective.
Talking, Nick, really?
Well, let me give you one thing, Broussard.
Go ahead.
The guy has been objective and fair.
Thank you.
And when Rondo was signing, I don't know if you were on the show, but he crunched the numbers and he came up with the analysis that it's David Copperfield, Chris Angel, and LeBron are just magicians. So we didn't get that take. We didn't just get the take that, like, they're just magicians. LeBron will just do something and make DeAndre Jordan work. So, yes, golf clap, you deserved it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, and Nick, while you were talking, I got a text from a source. The Lakers are about to sign Kevin Garnett. And looking at Elvin Hayes. They're looking at Elvin Hayes. But you also buried the lead. You buried the lead. How in the world is your wife's favorite player DeAndre Jordan?
I've never understood it.
Not Blake